for joining us, Tommy McCarthy, on VIP TV. First time we've had you on, and thanks to your manager, Mark Dunlop, who's one of the, I always say, one of the best guys you can come across in boxing, for putting us together. Where are you speaking from at the moment? I'm guessing in a hotel room.
Yeah, I'm in the Hilton Hotel. So I'm just sitting here waiting on the COVID results to come back, and then I'll be able to go into the bubble in with everyone else.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, obviously, it's a big fight Saturday against Bilal Laguni. Is it a nervous time waiting for these results, because all sorts of mad stuff happens with these tests?
Yeah, this is the most nervous thing about this whole week. I'm not nervous about the fight. I feel good because I know I've trained well, and I'm very confident about beating Bilal. But everything hangs in a balance here as far as the results come. And I know I feel good and I'm not sick, but I'm hearing reports of people failing tests, the asymptomatic. So it's like once I get the results back to say I'm all clear, then I'll be able to settle. So it is nerve-wracking.
So the COVID test is worrying you, but what worries is Bilal Laguni giving you for this weekend? Yeah, very good. Might not have mixed in your company, but a very good record all the same.
Yeah. I think he's a solid fighter. Across the board, he does everything well. But he's capable, but not sensational. So I'm not too worried about him. This is my fight to lose. And I know I've trained well. I've been sparring brilliant. So I just need to just put it all into practice here on Saturday night. And I'm very confident that I'll do it.
I mean, there's a lot of momentum with you at the moment. And, not really want to talk about this fight, but you've bounced back so well since the Riakapur, haven't you? I mean, it's a fantastic the way you've come back. Is it the 4 wins, the winning in Italy? It's it's quite remarkable how you pulled it around.
Yeah, well, it's that's the beauty of boxing, isn't it? Like you're always 1 or 2 fights away from the big team, and it's just about staying with it. Obviously, you have to have a bit of talent to go behind it. You can't. But after that fight with Riakapur, I knew that wasn't the end for me. I never thought about retiring. I just knew that was just a bump in the road for me. So, and credit to my manager, Mark. Mark is just rebuilt me so perfectly, and he has all the right connections, and he stuck with me. Like most managers might have said, you know what, forget about it, you're not going to do it, but he stuck with me, and now we're here.
Yeah. And when you went to Italy to fight Fabio Turci, what was in your mind in training and going? Because let's be honest, you're with Matchroom now, and you're on a fantastic build this weekend. They weren't taking you to Italy to win, were they?
Nah, I knew I was going over as the opponent, but that just gave me a bit more I'm ready to say up yours, because Matchroom Italy is kind of all built around Fabio Turci, and he's the star, and he's been headlining the shows, and even their last weekend he's back headlining the shows. So I just knew I would beat him. I knew I had the beatings of him. So I was just buzzing to go over and just upset the whole party. And it was great. Once it happened, the fight was a great fight. And it was you ever watch Rocky 4?
Yeah.
When he goes to fight the Russian in Russia, and then at the end, they're all the Russians are going, Rocky. As it happened in Italy, rounds 10, 11, 12, the whole crowd starts supporting me then. They're Tommy. I'll be back here. But now it was great.
That's it. What was it like the next day? Or was it the Saturday? I think it was on a Thursday. I just remember a couple of days later, your mate Tyrone McKenna, there was a great picture on social media of Tyrone coming round to see you. What was that like?
It was brilliant because me and Tyrone's best friends, and been best friends from we were 12 years old. So he'd already won the WBC title before me, the international, and I won the same one. So it was just brilliant that we've came through the ranks, the amateur game together, came through life together, and then we've both got these titles. So it was great celebrations.
How did you end up with a crank like that as your best mate? Because you seem a very sensible man. He's a lovely fella. He doesn't come across as sensible as you.
I don't know. We're just the yin and yang. You know what I mean? He completes me.
I don't know what your missus must think when Tyrone comes out to take you out for 3 pints.
Um, she loves him as well. Cause like I say, we grew up with each other, and it just opposites attract, and we are so opposite, but we're alike as well. But he's just a mad guy, fun person to be around.
Yeah, very infectious sort of guy. I always find it
Yeah,
around him. Really nice fella. So let's go back to the boxing. You're number 13 for the WBC belt, held by Makubu. What's going to happen with you with this weight going to 13 stone 8? Because a lot of EBU champions tend to go that WBC route historically. So where do you stand in that situation? I'm guessing it weren't the best news for you.
nah, it was kind of a spanner in the works because I always wanted to win the WBC title. As a kid, it's because all the high-profile fighters, they're always our WBC champion, Mayweather and Lennox Lewis and all of them. So I was like, yeah, that's about that I want to win. And now they kind of, I don't know if I could make that weight. I don't know because 14-4 suits me perfect. So I have to see.
It's a lot of weight. I mean, boxers can make any weight they want, but it's what you're going to be like at a weigh-in and then at a fight night. I mean, I'm sure you could make it, but
but it's like, are you going to be like your optimum like performance in it? Like I've been boxing at this weight from the amateurs. You know what I mean? This is my weight, 14-4. So I don't know. We'll cross that road when we get there.
Or you might have to look for a world ranking elsewhere and
elsewhere,
governing body.
Yeah. Well, winning the EBU gets you across the board with all the main ones. So, like I say, as long as it's one of the major organizations, I wouldn't care what title it is, just to get the world title and go down in history is the main thing.
Yeah. And I was talking to Mark on Sunday on the telephone, and he was saying that he's kept you away from Peter Taylor for the last 2 weeks of training because of all the COVID, and if one of you was positive, the other couldn't, the chaos around it. Because if someone failed, if he failed now, you could still box. Has that been difficult the last 2 weeks? Or has he been on a video calls, or how does it work? I know most of the work is done.
Yeah, well, most of the work was done. And the beauty of like modern technology, you can do a lot of video calls, or a lot of sessions like that, and I was sparring in my amateur club, Oliver Plunkett, and my old amateur coach was, looking after me, Patsy McAllister. So, as you said, everything was more or less done, and it was just really getting the last few spars in.
Yeah, and then on Saturday night, there's a major fight. Usyk, a man I'm sure you must have looked up to, being the same weight against Derek Chisora. How do you see that fight going?
I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Chisora come out early, try and put it on him and put him under pressure, but Usyk uses skills and box the points victory.
Yeah. Did you fancy Usyk to outpoint him, or?
Yeah, that's a box the points victory. Yeah.
And when you look at the world cruiserweights, who do you think right now, if you wanted to be number one cruiserweight in the world and be called it by everybody, who's the one man you would have to beat, and why are they the number one?
I'd say Maris Briedis. Yeah, because I think he's won all the belts on one stage, at some stage, and he's just won the World Series, and that World Series kind of cements you as number one. Whoever wins that, they're top of the tree. So yeah, I would have to say Briedis.
Yeah. Going back to your amateur days, did you box in the World Series of boxing?
Yeah, I boxed in the first season.
What was that like? I just wonder what your approach. I like speaking to boxers who have been in there and what it was like. Like Sam Maxwell thought was brilliant at first with all the money. In the second year, there was no money. I just wondered how you found it and how hard. Yeah,
well, I was in it in the first year when it was all the money was everywhere. So I was loving it, and it was good. It was tough. It was like being on a football team. When you hear about fellas going, well, not so much in England, but Irish footballers, when they get scouted for an English team, they go away and they can't hack it and they start crying and they want to come home. So I went to Milan and I signed for the Italian team. and it was so hard. And my baby was just been born; she was only like 8 weeks old, and I was after the first day, I was like this close to coming home because I was in a foreign country, couldn't speak the language, and all foreigners, all like people from different countries, and it was tough. But then once I settled in, it was a great experience, and we had a great time. And Dolce and Gabbana was the sponsor, so we were getting all free Dolce and Gabbana gear. Like my wardrobe was just covered in Dolce and Gabbana, everything. It was great.
And then
I still use the bag now. I'm carrying it.
and then the money started coming, so that was great money that first year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that first year they were just throwing money at me, so it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Just one final question off boxing. I noticed you were born in London, so how did you end up in Belfast, or was family just passing through England? You know, can we claim you as an Englishman when you're world champion?
Nah, you can't claim me. The family just passing through. It's the age-old story. My father's an Irishman, went to England to work.
Oh.
My mother, her parents came from Jamaica, the Windrush generation.
Yeah.
Them two met and then had me, and then my mother passed away when I was young, so I came home just to live with my grandparents in Ireland.
Oh, so you were brought up by your grandparents in Ireland, yeah?
Yeah.
Superb. So this weekend, any predictions for the fight this weekend? How it's gonna go?
I'm trying to speak this into existence. I want a first round KO win for McCarthy. Left hook, right hand, hopefully at the end of it. First round.
We all hope it's the end of it for him. Tommy, it's been brilliant to speak to you again, and hopefully we can speak next week when you're EBU champion, when you're back in. I might speak to Tyrone and get you both on together.
Yeah, get it together at the same
That's what
time.
I'd like, yeah. I want to see, I want to see what makes you two gel. It's quite fascinating. That's what we'll do next Monday or Tuesday. I'll message you both on Sunday.
Great stuff. All right.
Thanks very much. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Talk to you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.